the little robot who loved flowers. Once upon a time, in a world full of beeping and whirring machines, lived a tiny robot named Bolt. Most robots were busy building things or calculating numbers, but Bolt loved something very different: flowers. Bolt had bright, shiny eyes that glowed green when he was happy. He loved to visit the only patch of colorful flowers in the city, tucked away behind a tall, gray building. The roses were velvety red, the daisies were cheerful white, and the sunflowers stood tall and proud, always looking at the sun. One day, Bolt noticed the flowers looked a little droopy. Their petals were soft, and their leaves looked tired. "Oh dear," Bolt beeped sadly. He scanned them with his little sensors and understood. They needed water! Bolt knew where to find water. He trundled on his tiny wheels to the nearest water fountain. But how could he carry the water? He didn't have a bucket or a cup. Bolt thought hard, his gears whirring gently. Suddenly, he had an idea. He remembered seeing a big, empty metal can near a recycling bin. Bolt carefully picked up the can, brought it to the fountain, and filled it with cool, clear water. It was a little heavy for him, but he was determined. Slowly and carefully, Bolt carried the can back to the flower patch. He poured the water around the thirsty roots, watching as the dry earth drank it up. He did this again and again until all the flowers had enough to drink. The next morning, Bolt zoomed back to the flower patch. And guess what? The flowers were standing tall and bright again. Their colors were vibrant, and their petals looked soft and fresh. Bolt's green eyes glowed even brighter. He had helped them, and it felt like the best thing a robot could do. From that day on, Bolt made sure the flowers always had enough water. He was just a little robot, but he made a big difference to the beautiful, blooming corner of his world.
The squirrel who loved nuts but not too much. Once upon a time, in a cozy little tree with big green leaves, lived a playful squirrel named Squeaky. Squeaky loved nuts more than anything. Acorns, walnuts, pecans, he loved them all. He spent his days scampering up and down trees, burying nuts for the winter. One sunny afternoon, Squeaky found a huge pile of walnuts. "Wow!" he chittered, his eyes wide with excitement. He quickly started burying them, one after another, all around his tree. He buried so many that his little cheeks puffed out like balloons. As the sun began to set, Squeaky felt very, very tired. He had buried nuts all day long. He looked at his mountain of buried treasures and thought, "I have enough nuts for 100 winters." The next morning, Squeaky woke up feeling a little achy. His paws were tired from digging, and his nose was sore from sniffing out places to hide nuts. He saw his friends Pip and Chatter playing tag amongst the branches. They looked like they were having so much fun. Squeaky realized something important. Yes, nuts were wonderful, but so was playing with his friends. So he decided to only gather enough nuts for the winter and then spend the rest of his time leaping, playing, and sharing giggles with Pip and Chatter. From that day on, Squeaky was a happy squirrel. He still loved nuts, but he loved his friends and playtime even more. And every winter, he always had just enough nuts to keep him cozy and warm, along with wonderful memories of sunny days spent playing.